Now let's see what Bill Gates is up to. A team of international experts ranging from epidemiologists to computer modelers should be created to quickly identify global health threats and improve coordination between countries, Bill Gates has said, warning that greater investment is needed to avoid another pandemic. Now, it would be cynical to look at that as racketeering. You could look at it optimistically as Bill Gates recognises that if there are future pandemics, we should be alert and aware and have a coordinated way of responding. As long as you've got total trust in your government and the agencies, non-elected agencies, I offer you, that will be in charge of this process, everything should be just fine. But who will those governments be? Who runs those governments, and who will those non-government, non-elected agencies that make those decisions be? It'll be the WHO. Who funds the WHO? Oh, well, here's a wacky old coincidence. It's Bill Gates. Now, let's break this down a little bit further and have a look at what Bill Gates' vision entails in his own words.
If we make the right investments, we won't need to live in fear of another COVID.
I think by we, Bill means government.
If we make the right investments.
And by government, he means you, because the government's money is your money. So essentially what Bill Gates is saying, I want your goodwill when your government invests in programs that I am going to suggest in order to prevent the next, inverted commas, inevitable pandemic. Let's see what else Bill's got to say and what motivates Bill. See, if you live in a world of transparency and trust, you will look at Bill Gates and go, I like this dude. He's cool. He wants nothing but to help people. I can look at his actions. I can look at his investments. I can look at his behavior. And I can see this is a person that operates entirely on a system of altruistic, philanthropic motives. If I see anything else in there that seems like it might be about power, control, profit, I'm going to have questions because I'm not an idiot.
Here's how it should work. Epidemiologists will detect suspicious clusters of a disease that could cause a pandemic.
Look at the style and aesthetic of Bill Gates' propagandist video here. It's kind of, on one hand, you could say it's sort of indie and folky, but on the other hand, it's didactic and it puts you, me, us in the position of children receiving information from a parent who tells you everything's going to be okay. Well, here's the relationship I have with parental figures. As long as I know that I can trust you, I'm down with partnership. But I don't need or want a parent. I'm an adult.
A global team of 3,000 disease experts managed by the WHO.
Managed by the WHO, don't worry about them.
Called the Germ team.
And why are you doing it on maths paper? That's maths paper!
Will track the disease and share data and recommendations with governments.
Wouldn't it be a lot easier to accept this if there wasn't an evolving narrative around the pandemic that suggests there should be transparency and discourse and dialogue between opposing camps continually, no condemnation of people that dissent against the mainstream narrative, because why would you condemn people for being cynical when you've seen the profits that big business have made, the profits that big pharma have made, the controls that have been exerted, the mistakes that have been made, the censorship around particular arguments that go against the objectives of powerful corporations? All this has to be included. You'd have to be a child to just go along with this.
Governments and pharmaceutical companies will work together.
Yeah, governments and pharmaceutical companies work together, all right? That is my biggest fear. They've been working together all along.
Countries and the WHO will work, and the best way to allocate these tools.
Of course, if there are going to be diseases, it would be good to have scientific solutions. But it's important that there is transparency and dialogue between government and those that it governs. One way that you might be able to bypass the complexity of that type of tyranny is by making it look all friendly, nice, and we're just sketching it out on maths paper. How about this? How about you never leave your house? And how about we give you a passport and we just observe everything that you're doing? And what about if you don't question my authority? How about you just shut up? How about we're involved in this conversation? Vetoed!
And so this germ team will work with each country to do germ games.
I don't like this germ team, germ game, squid game, dystopia, sci-fi stuff. Do you? The only way around this kind of complexity, this kind of diversity of opinion, this kind of insecurity around our trust of authority, which I would say is a legitimate distrust. Authority should not be automatically trusted. You should start from distrust and then see how authority behaves and then maybe decide on trust. At the moment, I don't think we are at trust. That's not where I am personally. You might be. And guess what if you are? That's fine with me. Are you okay with my mistrust, my distrust, or do you see my mistrust and distrust as mis and disinformation?
Diseases are always going to spread among humans, but they don't have to become pandemics. You can read more about this in my new book, How to Prevent the Next Pandemic.
Look at him smiling away, all happy. How to prevent the next pandemic. I'd trust you more if you didn't have a book out, mate. If the whole thing wasn't a marketing exercise for a little folky book about how horror awaits us.